Behold, I urge you, as sojourners and exile, to abstain from the passions of the flesh, which wage war against your soul. Keep your conduct among the Gentiles honorable, so that when they speak against you as evildoers, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day of visitation. It is Tuesday, July the 5th, 2022. Clive Welsh here, encouraging you to join me for the reading of our devotional thought for today, and it's being read from the book Truth for Life by pastor and author Alistair Begg. Today's devotional thought is entitled, A Call to be Different. That's A Call to be Different. And the verses today, 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 11 and 12, and it reads, Behold, I urge you, as sojourners and exile, to abstain from the passions of the flesh, which wage war against your soul. Keep your conduct among the Gentiles honorable, so that when they speak against you as evildoers, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day of visitation. That's 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. Alistair Begg writes, How are Jesus' followers supposed to act? It's a vital question. The answer is both simple and challenging. We are called to be different from those who don't follow Jesus. Throughout all eternity, God had purposed to have a people of His own. God's people are called to be a holy people, set apart both from sin and to God, who is in Himself holy, holy, holy. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 3, and Revelation chapter 4, verse 8. We find this principle of a people set apart recorded for us throughout Scriptures. In Leviticus, for example, the Lord commands His people, the Israelites, not to imitate the Egyptians and the Canaanites in their pagan practices. Rather, they are called to obey God's law and decrees in Leviticus chapter 18, verses 1 through 5. But God's laws were not introduced so that people could simply give the appearance of obedience. No, true obedience to God's decree is an expression of a transformed heart, a heart that rejoices at holiness. In other words, God says, You're my people, you belong to me, therefore I want you to delight in being set apart. Our external actions will only endure and will only please God when an internal change has already taken place. So it is that in the New Testament we find Peter exhorting believers to remember that they are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for His own possession. And that's 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. As God's people today, we are still called to live differently, to keep our conduct honorable, and to make choices about our entertainment, finances, relationships, indeed, every facet of our lives that are in step with God's exhortation to be holy as He is holy. The great challenge for us as believers is to identify with the world in its need but not in its sin. The people of our world do not need us to make them feel comfortable about their immoral behavior and rejection of their Creator. Instead, as Peter explains, we are to live in such a way that we will proclaim the excellency of Him who has called us out of darkness into His marvelous light, so that others might see our good deeds and give God all the glory. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. So, Peter's words should provoke us each to ask, do I expect to be different? Am I willing to be different, even if it leads to others speaking against me? Will I love this world enough to be quite unlike this world, that I might point the people of this world toward a better one? That's the reading of our devotional thought for today. Ends with a striking question. Will I love this world enough to be quite unlike this world, that I might point the people of this world towards a better one? And I pray and I trust that God's Spirit will enable us to do that today, to point others to the world to come, where Jesus reigns as King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and He desires to reign as King of Kings and Lord of Lords in our hearts today. We trust that this devotional thought was an inspiration to you and will lead you now to action. And it is entitled once again, A Call to be Different. And for those of you reading through the scriptures, Deuteronomy chapter 25 through 27 and the book of Acts chapter 6. And may God richly bless you. My name is Clive Walsh.